everybody. Tonight is Genesis chapter 16 and 17. Still the saga of Abraham and Sarah. Sarah was upset because she hasn't had any children, and it's been 10 years since the Lord said that Abraham was going to be a father of many. So she gives her Egyptian maid, what's her name, Hagar, to Abram so that Hagar could have a baby for Sarah. I mean, that is how it was done back then. There is an old Egyptian. Well, there are laws and things that date way back, and there was an old Assyrian marriage contract that if the wife didn't get pregnant within 2 years, she had to procure a concubine for her husband to have children with. Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, concubine isn't the same thing as a wife. As far as I know, I have to dig deeper into that because I've heard that a concubine's like a second wife or a minor wife, and other people are like, no, it's not. So let's do a little research, see if I can find out more about that. But the whole purpose wasn't to please the man, it was to have babies. So Hagar gets pregnant, and she starts to think she's better than Sarah. Now, Hagar is Sarah's Egyptian maid slave. So Hagar didn't have a whole lot of say in the whole thing. And but when she gets pregnant and Sarah couldn't, she got real uppity, and she wasn't going to obey Sarah. She thought she was better than Sarah, so Sarah went to Abram, and Abram said, she's your slave, she's your property, you do with her what you think best. So Sarah really laid into poor pregnant Hagar, and Hagar ran off. I would too, seriously. And Hagar gets to a well, and somebody comes up and starts talking to Hagar, like, Hagar, what are you doing? Where are you going? And Hagar tells the angel, she didn't realize it was an angel at first, but as she's talking to him, she got the picture, and the angel tells Hagar, go back home to Sarah. Your child will be born and will be the father of many descendants. You will have a lot of descendants, actually. And that she should call her son Ishmael. And he also said that Ishmael would be a wild man. Now, in the newer translation of the Catholic Bible, it says a wild ass of a man. It's like, okay. But so Sarah went back and bore Ishmael, and at that time, Abram was 96 years old. And so slavery was very, very much alive and well over 3,000 years ago. And yeah. Don't like it, but that's what it was. Now, in chapter 17, Abram's name is changed to Abraham, and both of them mean the father exalted. And Sarai is now Sarah, which both mean princess. And I was kind of thinking, because this is supposedly written by Moses, who was several hundred years after this all happened. And I kind of wonder if he just picked those names as a way to describe the two people. I don't know if that was really their names, but anyways, there's a lot of speculation as to what's what. Now, Abraham now, God told him, you will have a son with Sarah. And God also said that he would continue to protect Abraham, but he needed a sign of the covenant. They made a covenant, and there needed to be a sign of the covenant. So God decided that all males born into the family, household born slaves, and bought in slaves, 8 days old or older, had to be circumcised. And that's on the penis. There is a bit of skin called the foreskin, and they cut it off. And I don't think they didn't have anesthetics back then, so that had to really hurt. And I did a little research, and the Jews still, I mean, a lot of people still do circumcision, but often it's at the hospital, right, when the baby's just a day or two old or whatever, and it's all done, it's all sterile and clean and stuff. A lot of people can opt out of that. I mean, you have to tell them if you want the boy to be circumcised or not. The Jews, though, still do it, but it's done by somebody called a mohel. Mohel? Mohel. That's a professional circumciser. Interesting career choice. And the ceremony is called a bris, and the foreskin is buried. So yeah, okay. Anyway, so Abram said, "All right," and God again tells Abram he's going to be a father by Sarah. Now Abraham was 100 years old, so this is 4 years later after Ishmael, and Sarah's 90, and Abraham laughed because they were too old to have kids. I mean, Hagar must have been younger, and then so God told him, "You're going to call the boy Isaac," which means laughing. And that Ishmael, and that the covenant would go from Abraham to Isaac. And Abraham was like, "Well, what about Ishmael?" He said, "Ishmael will be a father of 12 sons, of 12 good sons, and he will have a great nation himself." So Abraham got everybody together, all the men from the age of 8 days up, and had them all circumcised, including himself, in one day. And I was like going, yeah, I bet there wasn't a whole lot of work done in the next few days, because you know what men are like when they in pain, they just whine, whine, whine. Or so it seems. Anyways, that's where a lot of people say circumcision started here, but actually the historians say when you look in the records, circumcision was a rite of passage from a boy to a part of the boy to an almost man type thing, and it was practiced in a lot of ancient cultures. So, but this is why the Jews do it, and it goes way back before there were Jews. So, yeah, it's more historical storytelling with truth in it, but it's a way to describe the truth, and it's the story that was handed down from generation to generation. And I know a lot of people say, no, no, God came to the people who wrote this and gave them the story. I don't know, I wasn't there, but you've got to take it. This is why I always say, pray before you read the scriptures, pray while you read the scriptures, pray after you read the scriptures, and then do research and pray again to find out for yourself just how true, is this word for word truth? Because if it is, you're going to get yourself very confused, because there's inconsistencies in the Old Testament and in the New Testament as well. So, yeah, I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm saying that it might not be exactly, Abram and Abraham and Sarah, and they might have been two people in the past. One was exalted by God, who was did everything great for God, and then his wife was like a princess. So, um, or they really could have those names. I don't know. Figure it. Pray about it yourself. Have a great night. Bye.